Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day, and if you can tell, it's another horrible week for football. Just kidding. Welcome to the Fasce, your weekly podcast of everything football, fantasy predictions, bets, news, you name it. We got it every single Thursday at 8 a.m. We're going to be right here at the Fascast, and today I'm joined here by none other than Mr. Chris T and Mr. Nick. How are you guys?
Whoop whoop.
I was a little worried about you there for a second, buddy. Like the whole tone of starting that, it made it sound like Jerry Jones traded for the key to eternal life and was never going to stop being the owner of the Cowboys.
Well, there's a couple things said that he wants to get it done now. He's worried about his age, and he talked about that on his radio show or whatever. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, what do we got today for a discussion?
Well, yeah. Speaking of Jerry Jones trading for the elixir of life, the day of this recording is the trade deadline. This is more of an opinion aspect. How important do you think that trade deadline is and trades at this midpoint of the season? Can it like save those teams that are like on the fence, could be in, could be out, or is it just trying to build for next year? Personally, I think it's very situational. A majority of the time, I feel like the teams that are making trades and trading away players and trying to get picks it's just preparation for next year. If you're trading away one of your top players, it's for a reason for next year. They're one of your top players. If you were trying to save the season, you'd keep them out knowing they're one of the top in the league. And personally, I think trades at this point of the year are for the future, not the current.
So I'm going to have to disagree with you a little bit.
A little bit. It's okay, not okay. I know it's already.
Yeah. No, I understand that. But I'm just gonna have to disagree with you just a little bit. So I agree that it is situational, but to say that, like what you just said there at the end, that like you're only doing it for the future, that is not true. And the Rams are somebody that I can point to say that they did not do that for the future. We traded multiple first-round picks to get multiple players in the middle of the season during our Super Bowl run. And now none of those players are on the Rams. Like next year they were all gone. Like we literally traded, we said F them picks. We traded for a bunch of guys in the middle of the season before the trade deadline, and we went and won the Super Bowl. So I totally believe that situationally it can be for right now. And I think that without, going into things, I don't know, maybe we'll go into it a little bit. The Colts, Sauce Gardner, that is a right now. That is we know our weakness, and we are going to get someone who we think is the best, and we are going to win right now.
Chris?
Yep.
I'd have to completely agree. Yeah, it's definitely a situational thing where you're gonna. And by the way, I think the trade deadline as of this year, the Jets completely have won the trade deadline.
For sure.
They set themselves up, and I think the focus is going to be for them. They got rid of a lot of their defensive talent, which I think I can agree with. They kept their offensive guys, Garrett, Brees, even though Brees wanted out. They kept their strong offensive players, and I think the focus now is going to be a switch to that. They have like 6 first-round draft picks coming up in these next 2, plus their own, coming up in these next 2 years. So the draft capital that they just won, that just by this trade deadline today, is absolutely incredible. But yeah, and the other side of that, who they traded to, we lost the trade deadline because it's too little too late. Yes, I would be excited about this trade at any other point, which is to my thing where I'm going to kind of go off the things here. The trade deadline just to me means you're locked and loaded with your roster for the rest of the year. I'm glad you mentioned the Colts because guess what? The temperature of the league for these past recent years is let's win it now, F them draft picks. Perfect example of the Colts.
Why I brought up the Rams.
We have a strong record, strong team, leading the division. We really have a chance to do it right now this year. Let's go and grab Sauce Gardner. and that's just going to be a huge help this year right now to win it right now while you're having a fantastic year. See, and we go back to the Cowboys. I would actually have been excited about this trade if it were 3 weeks ago. So the moves coming into the deadline, this past loss of the week, we're not saving it unless you win out type deal. Which, looking at the schedule, Chiefs, Lions, Eagles, it's not going to happen. So, do I like to pick up? The thing is, are we going to pay him again for next year? Or is this kind of like the help for this year? Pay him and send him off to another team, like typically like Cowboys fashion, what we do. But there's absolutely no shot for this year. I'm already. Oh man, I could go a lot into it, but yeah, the trade deadline for me, it just means you're locked and loaded. The temperature now. Go get the guys that are going to win it right now. Jets win with the draft capital. Colts win with a win right now. A lot of moves that I like seeing. The Cowboys are just kind of there, making a move because Jerry said he doesn't have much time. He wants to win it now, but it's too little, too late, Jerry. I'm sorry.
But in that sense as well, you both mentioned your own teams. Going to tie my team there right now. To me, I don't understand why there's, from that aspect of, screw the draft picks and go win it right now. Pittsburgh needs help on defense. I mean, their defense showed out last week, which we'll talk about later when we get to the picks as well. But it's been a rocky road for the Steelers, and it's key. It's clear that we need some pieces still, and we did nothing. We did what Dallas does normally.
Didn't you guys just shut down the number one offense of the league and beat them? The thing with the trades too is it has to make sense. So you can't just trade because it's a trade deadline. And being that your defense literally just pretty much won, we could call it 27-7 because give them the garbage points at the end. But you shut down the hottest and best offense, most scoring offense in the league, aside from the Cowboys, of course. And you shut them down and won the game.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear that again. Thank you very much. Anyways, I'm.
By the way, can I add to that before you go on? That was my whoopsie daisy of the week once again, hitting every single week. Can we go ahead and say I'm on a generational run right now? Absolutely going on a tear with these whoopsie daisies.
There's some that have been missed as well. You're doing very well on them.
You are doing well, but you have been missing as well. You take a couple a week, one hit.
Yeah. You're guaranteed a hit.
All right. So going forward, if I pick one,
if you pick one whoopsie daisy,
I only get one whoopsie daisy. It hits.
Yes.
Then you're on a generational run.
Yeah.
All right.
He's going to change all of his picks now.
That's the new rules. That's going to be the new rule.
Yeah. I will 100% go along with that.
If you take the 8 you do and all 8 hit, that's a different story.
So what if I have a couple whoopsie daisies, but I say this is my locked in one? This is my for sure one. Will that count?
No, because every one of our picks is a for sure. It's what we believe is going to happen. That's how I take the picks.
I mean, if I believe, okay, all right, I see what you're saying.
But I am happy that both of you actually tied into the next aspect of trade I wanted to talk about as well, with Mr. Chris here mentioning Sauce Gardner by name, and then you mentioning the Jets specifically. How do you guys feel about that trade? 2 first-round draft picks from the Colts for Sauce Gardner. Was it more of a fleece by the Jets? Because if I do recall, Gardner struggled a bit this year.
Yeah, so
playing to the caliber he has been. Personally, I think it was good for the Jets building for next year, like Justin was saying, and setting themselves up for either to be in a position to trade for higher spots in the draft coming up, even though they're already going to be the first overall pick in the coming draft, or just getting the picks. I mean, I don't think he was worth 2 first-rounders, personally.
Yeah, so don't get it twisted. Sauce Gardner is a lockdown corner. He's one of the best corners in the league. This year has been not quite the case, but that's a testament to the organization itself and the team itself. They have not been playing good football at all. I mean, they're one win. They didn't win this week, right? Did they win this week? They were on a bye this week. They're on a bye this week, so yeah. So they have one win. The team altogether has not been playing well. So I do not put his lack of production on just on him, right? It's an overall effort. So I think that both sides of this trade, tremendous for both of them. Because the Jets get 2 picks and a Donnie Mitchell. I don't know if that was part of that trade or if that was a separate trade. They kind of worded the trade weird. They didn't put him in until like later on, so I'm not sure exactly how that worked. But anyways, that's what they got. I think that's great for them. Picks for the future, a good rookie. Lost in the game against the Rams, but oh well, he still was pretty decent up to that point. And then the Colts, they get a absolute stud at the cornerback position, who's been doing great up until this year, which again I don't think is on him. Well, totally.
Yeah, I'm gonna add into it has a lot to do with the culture of the team, the attitude of the team, your mentality going into the games. You're a 1-7 football team. You're gonna go out and just say, okay, I'm just gonna play the game. When you have something to actually play for, especially being traded to best team in the AFC. Record, I don't know if that stands after the loss this week, but one of the best anyway, we'll say currently.
They're still the number one.
Your whole entire mood changes. You're gonna come in and you have something to play for. You're gonna want to win, and you're gonna be happy about the move. And I think it's gonna pick up. He's lockdown corner. We all know it to be true. He's been that for years in the league, and it's not changed this year. So yeah, I think both of them won. I think they both got what they wanted here. So I think it's a win-win for everyone. And yeah.
Well, then, in that case, let's move on to Thursday night football. The Las Vegas Raiders playing a mile high against the Denver Broncos. The spread is at -9.5 for the Broncos, and I'm absolutely smashing that. The Raiders are not doing great. They just lost Jacoby Myers in a trade as well. Just how you're talking about, they're just like the mentality for the Jets, just going out there and playing football. Like there's nothing to play for. I feel like that's the mentality of the Raiders. The Broncos still have things to play for and are going to absolutely stomp them.
Yeah. So the Jaguars are a 5-3 football team. Not a great defense.
Wait, the Jaguars.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Just let me finish. Jesus, let me cook. Good Lord.
Just made me go double check to make sure I just read.
And the Raiders,
right teams.
The Raiders almost won. It was 30-29, right? So
They
the
lost
Raiders
by
can score.
Conversion.
They did. Well, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with losing, but you're like you're a 2-5 football team. Go for the 2-point conversion to try to win the game. You're not gonna make the playoffs this year anyway, so you might as well just go for it.
True.
So, with that being said, they can score points. Are they going to be able to score against this Broncos defense? Now, this Raiders defense is not great, but the Broncos offense doesn't really show me that they're going to be able to score. I mean, what did we say last week? That 9 points per game? Bo Nix and the
Well, now
Broncos
they play the Cowboys, so.
Well, okay. Well, we're gonna take that as an asterisk, but
Now it's more like 20 a game.
okay. So, with that being said, 9.5 points is a huge spread. I'm taking the Raiders' money.
Well,
The Raiders' money. What?
Or points.
Holy
as I look
Points.
at, yeah.
Yeah,
That
sorry,
was the
points.
calmest way to announce a whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, sorry, no. Sorry. I meant points.
Especially
I
a
meant
big
points.
one like that.
I meant points. Yeah, I know the Jacoby Myers trade is not great. You lose one of your receivers, but Brock Bowers is on a run. I mean, he
That
had
is
130 yards and 3 touchdowns. So they're going to be able to throw the ball to him. They're going to run the ball with Genty.
Yeah, and the thing I have about Nick too, like you have nothing to play for. It's a lot different with Pete Carroll as your coach. I think has like the experience in the league to get the hype behind the players and want to play behind them. So the Raiders are still
culture.
Yeah, the Raiders are still going to go for winning games, and the players are still in it. That's the difference between like. The longest playoff drought in sports history and the Jets versus a veteran coach that has been in the league for a while. But yeah, I agree with the offense take. Still don't believe in it, but they still win a lot of games. Their fourth quarter seems to be unreal. For some reason, they score a lot of points in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
But man, I don't know. I do like what the Raiders have at least going. They're like a QB away from being like a really good team. But I'm gonna take the Broncos points here. I could see it being within 10. That's a lot of points for this game. But I think their defense is too stacked. They're gonna have an answer for Brock Bowers this week. So give me Broncos minus 9.5.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Moving on to another one. Sunday at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 9:30, dude.
I'm tired of this. I mean, it is the Atlanta Falcons at the home, in quotes, Indianapolis Colts. Minus 6.5 point spread. And man, did the Colts just have a rough Sunday last week against a dormant Steelers defense that came back from the depths of hell and actually looked like a defense again. I mean, when the defense for the Steelers is playing that way, it is hard to put points up and hard to win a football game. When they're playing like the Steelers defense has been known as, I think that was a little bit of a punch for them, and they're gonna want to prove that, hey, we can beat caliber teams like that. We can play solid defenses, and I think they're gonna come out hungry. And JT is going to go insane. It's going to be a battle of whose legs can run faster, Bijan or JT, I think, in this game. And I don't know why, but especially traveling across where is this one, actually? Before I say that, across the sea. Where is this game? Does anyone know? Little beep to boop?
I'm pretty sure it's...
This is a London game, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a London game.
Doing some boop boop boop.
Berlin.
Oh, it's
Berlin.
in Berlin. Oh, it's in Germany.
Berlin.
That's kind of cool.
It's all. I don't know. The international games I feel like can be weird sometimes with spreads and aspect. But I mean, damn, a struggling Steelers offense. I mean, struggling. This is from bias from a depressed Steelers fan because of the way the year's been going. Yes, we're on the top of the division, but it still makes me sad of the way things have happened. Was able to, I mean, take away the garbage time points, Justin. You said 27-7 was practically the score of that game.
Yep.
I think the Falcons might be able to cover the spread of this game, and I think it's going to be within 6.5. And I'm going to take the Falcons spread on that. I think the Colts are going to win the football game, but I think I'm kind of contradicting myself here. Even though they're going to be coming out and playing angry, I don't think they're going to fully recover from what happened last week. I mean, 5 turnovers, 6 turnovers? That's a bad day of football. Daniel Jones was not looking like the Daniel Jones of the year, throwing some bad passes. The ball was loose with them. I don't know if they just got comfortable thinking, oh, Steelers haven't been playing good, we're going to go into it. But I don't think it's a full recovery this week, and the Falcons are going to take it 6.5.
I just don't know. I have more faith in the Colts than I do the Falcons. Just up to how this year has been. If we're looking at the past games, I mean, are we getting the Falcons that lost 30-0 against the Panthers and lost to the Dolphins that who knows what's going on with that team? Or are we getting the team that beat the Bills? What are we getting here? It's so inconsistent that I don't think I can trust them to cover the spread. So I am going to take the Colts minus 6.5.
Yeah, it's like this is the true gamble. is you can hit really big or miss really big. Because you're right,
Yeah.
Falcons go crazy. For me, this was going to be one of my whoopsie daisies, but since I have to lock in one now,
No, I mean,
I,
you can still take
no,
19 of them.
no, I'm not going to because I'm going to go on a generational run to prove to you guys that my picks are picks. So for this one, I'm just going to take the spread for the Falcons plus 6.5. Funny enough, man, the Colts did really not look good against a playoff contending team. Once they hit kind of one of a rougher team in the schedule, they lost. Who was the other one they lost to? Who was their other loss?
The Rams.
Oh, that's right, another playoff team. That's kind of
Which
weird.
they should have beat the Rams though. So
Yeah, well, guess what? A loss is a
I know,
loss
coulda, woulda,
against
shoulda. I
two
know.
teams. Remember that week and went over all the opponents, and we all agreed every single one of them was easy except for the one they lost. Now here we are again. My hot take, I don't know if anyone remembers. We're going into that
Remember
trend.
your hot take.
And I don't think, and I'll say it again, Daniel Jones, yes, the rest of the team is doing absolutely phenomenal. But I don't, let me repeat that name again. Daniel Jones is going to lead this team down. As well as he has been playing, I'll give it credit to the cupcake schedule. But when you get against those teams that are gonna be contenders, they're gonna drop, and I think this is the start to their downfall. Give me the Jags division win. Give me another Colts loss. I got to take the spread so I can lock in my true whoopsie daisy of the week. Falcons plus 6.5.
That's fair. I mean, when you hear Daniel Jones, I will say it did look like he was seeing ghosts out there. We want to talk about what was it? It was Sam Darnold that we had that when he was on the Jets.
By the way, it's 10:29.
So it did kind of look like he was seeing ghosts, and I'm not going to disagree with you, Justin, to say that this could be their downfall, because if Daniel Jones starts playing like the Daniel Jones we've known up to this point before this year, then they're in for some trouble. I have some hope for them, at least for right now. So we'll see.
Just let it be known. I was the first one to say it a few weeks back.
Indeed, he was. And if you listen to the podcast every week, you would know that. Anyways, moving on to normal football times, 1 p.m. windows now. The Buffalo Bills playing right in my backyard down here at the Miami Dolphins Hard Rock Stadium. The spread is -9.5. And I don't think the Bills are going to have any trouble clearing that spread of 9.5 against a very, very struggling Miami team. I mean, they just beat the Chiefs. It's their Super Bowl every year. Sorry, Caleb and Brandon, whenever you listen to this. I said that last week as well. Bills always beat the Chiefs during the regular season. Will always lose during the playoffs. But I think they're going to go in, ride that high of beating their rivals, and just absolutely have some sushi on Monday night.
Yeah. 9.5 is, again, it's a big spread, but Bills are playing good. I mean, after they come out of the bye, they've been dominating so far. After dropping those 2 games before the bye week, I think the bye week was big for them to get their mind right and get things on track. I think they continue that this week at this Dolphins team. I just can't give them any sort of upside, if I'm being honest with you. I want to try to look for some nice things to say, but they scored 2 field goals against the Ravens, who we all touted as one of the worst defenses in the league. So, yeah, give me the Bills -9.5.
I'm glad you said that, because that's was going to be my first point too. Is yeah, they made the Ravens defense look like an actual defense. It made it look like they were back. I think, although, to give Ravens credit, I think this is their road to getting back on track. Kind of, that was everyone's like completely shocked and surprised. A 1-5 start. Nice couple wins these past couple weeks, but I think this is the point where we know where the defense is going to start picking up and playing like an actual normal football team. But yeah, still only scoring nothing. a couple field goals against it, is the Dolphins are just in shambles. Like I said, everyone's given up on this team. McDaniels wants to be fired already. No one's really in it. Everyone's kind of out of this team. But and the Bills, I think they're back as well. Now this is where I would turn and say, give me the Dolphins.
For my first
but
whoopsie daisy of the week.
no, I'm gonna keep it. Keep it straight. It's Bills minus 9.5. I think for sure here. Didn't they smoke them already the first meetup too?
I believe so, if I remember correctly. Checking that.
Yeah, 31-21.
Yeah,
Not smoked, but
by 10, so that's the spread. Yeah, I think they've lost a lot of motivation. I think they win by 10 again or more.
Well, then moving on to a team that is gaining their motivation back, the Baltimore Ravens versus the Minnesota Vikings. With the Ravens, I feel like for the first time in a while, favored. No, that's right. They're the minus 6.5 against the Bears, but favored minus 3.5 against the Vikings. And man, I don't know. The Ravens defense has been struggling all year, but again, Lamar Jackson is now back, and him being on the field is obviously a game changer. But then again, like, the Vikings just came off of a win against the Lions. I think the Ravens are going to continue on this. Ignore the voice crack there, but continue on this. Their man is back. Lamar Jackson is back. It's a dual threat backfield truly again between him and Henry, and are going to win this by at least a touchdown. Give me the Ravens minus 3.5. The future AFC North Division leaders.
do I trust the Ravens enough to win this game by more than 3.5 points? And I know we said it last week. We got to see, right? I said it like, let's, when we were talking about the pick for the Ravens last week, let's give it a, let's pick it and we'll see. We got to see what's going on now. The Ravens against the Dolphins, it's a bounce back game for them. The Dolphins absolutely fucking suck. They might be probably the second worst team in the league, if you ask me.
The Ravens?
No, I'm the Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
Dolphins. Sorry. Yep, meant the Dolphins. The Dolphins might be the second worst team in the league. So, like, how big is a 28-6 win against the second worst team in the league? Does it propel you into the next week for you to play better against a Vikings team at home when JJ McCarthy is playing? They are pretty lights out. They're, that the fourth quarter at the end there, the Detroit Lions kind of made a comeback in. But that's a divisional game against a tough opponent, and they went out there and they kind of rocked them up for a little bit. The Lions were struggling a little bit. I mean, they scored 24 points, but they come out the gate scoring 14 points. I mean, it looked really good for them. I mean, JJ McCarthy's no joke. They have a lot of weapons on that team, and this is going to be a good game, I think. If the Baltimore Ravens play the offense like they just played against the Dolphins. But that's the problem, is I don't know if we're going to get that. Give me the Vikings whoopsie daisy.
Whoa!
Give me the Vikings whoopsie daisy. I think that they absolutely can win this football game. And the only reason why I'm really taking it is because I just don't know what we're fully getting out of the Ravens at this point.
I can agree to that. And you know what? I think this Vikings team has a very good defense. And they have a very good coaching staff. And their coaching has been doing phenomenal this season. And You know what? I really, really like JJ. And if you all remember, I think it was week 2 or 3, the podcast. Listen to us every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. at the Fastcast on YouTube. This was my rookie player of the year. If you remember, we had that topic or discussion before. This is a big impact on the rookies. This is my biggest rookie impactor. I'm still going to hold true because they just seem to win. They seem to make things happen when he's in. And I like that he's back. This could have been my second whoopsie days of the week, but I still have one locked and loaded, ready to to go on my generational run here. So I'm going to take the Vikings points plus 3.5. This almost got my vote for game of the week too, but there's one that's just a little tier above this. I would say they're pretty close in caliber, but yeah, this is, I think as well is going to be a very fun, awesome, great game to watch. Give me the spread for the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay, just to cut in real quick. I'm looking at the spreads for the rest of the games because I have it all right here. And I'm like, what game is he thinking about taking the whoopsie daisy on? And I think I know what you're going to take it on. And if you do that, I'm going to be not happy with you.
I feel like I may know what game this might be as well, but if you're listening, stay tuned and you'll find out later on. Moving on. Well, honestly, I could also see as a potential of game of the week the Patriots versus the Buccaneers.
So this was my vote for game of the week.
Yeah, this could be game of the week too.
I could see this being game of the week. Daddy Mayfield, Drake May. Man, this is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be a real good game. Drake May's been playing great. They just squeaked out over the Falcons, but see, they just squeaked out over the Falcons. We're on a bye week. The week before, the Patriots played and smacked the Titans. That's easy. Smack the Saints. That's also easy. Beat the Bills. I mean, man, this is going to be a good game. I mean, the Bucs have some injuries now. Mike Evans out for the season. I think the Bucs are going to fall to this. I'm taking the Patriots money on this. I think the Patriots are going to win this game. It's not quite a whoopsie daisy, but I think the Patriots are going to upset the Bucs. I apologize if I didn't say the spread is -2.5 as well. But I think Drake May is gonna show why he's going to be the new face of New England.
So Bucks out of a bye. Patriots struggled to beat the Falcons. They hung on right at the end to beat them. We got Daddy Mayfield over there. Now, I don't know if... I think people are healthier now, right? Obviously, with after the bye. I haven't looked at anything of what's been going on with that this week, but if you like Ebuka Boo, he's good.
Boo Boo.
Like, he's good, right? Give me the Bucks -2.5. You know what? I like it here. Out of the bye, Patriots just almost lost. I really do like Drake May. And I could see this game going either way. This is a flip-flop for me. But it's in Tampa. Baker just has something in him, and so does Drake May. I don't know, man. This is hard for me to pick. I'm going with the Bucks. I'm going with the Bucks. -2.5.
Yeah, I like this game a lot. There's a lot of the game of the week for me, especially to a lot of factors. Both these teams are leading the division, and guess what? The Panthers beat the Packers last week. Hot take, they're going to take the division. The Bucks lose this game. Guess what? You're a game behind, still having to play the Panthers later in the year. Patriots, same thing, top of the division. Both another MVP quarterback run. Both of QBs are playing absolutely fantastic. You lose this game, guess what? The Bills are right there, taking first. You still have a game to go against them. So there's a lot on the line, especially for this game, going into the divisions. Yes, they're in different conferences, but to the respective division and teams behind them. This is almost like this is going to be a playoff game, is pretty much what we're looking at here. And and the reason I'm going to take Bucks -2.5, although the biggest hit for me for this team still is the Bucky Irving injury. That is going to be the decider pretty much for me. I believe in Baker still. We saw him kind of get a little bit crazy against the Lions, but I think he's right back, and he's going to be right back in the conversation of, like, why do we even have him out of the conversation for an MVP running? Because this guy's awesome. I think that's going to hold true this game, and Amika Boo Boo is going to have a couple touchdowns. But yeah, same. Like, I could see this pretty much going anyway, but for my pick and my belief in Bucks at home after the bye, they got everything going, extra rest, nice weather. I think they take it.
Well, then, moving on to the New York Giants playing the Bears. With the Bears being favored at -3.5, and man, Giants losing those key players, I still feel like will haunt them, especially after the Bears winning an absolute shootout, last-second touchdowns against the Bengals. I think the Bears are going to win this -3.5. Caleb Williams is, I think, going to take this over a little bit and be the Giants out.
Yeah, the Ben Johnson effect, right? We've talked about it, all year long on the podcast, and it's been proving to show its weight in gold, really. Caleb Williams played pretty well against the Bengals. Now the Bengals aren't, the Bengals are the Bengals. But he was safe with the ball, no fumbles, no picks, right? 280 yards. And that's really what you got to do, right? You have to protect the ball at all costs, no turnovers. So that was really good for him. And then the Giants side, you got those injuries, and it kind of like the little deflate. It's not looking good for them. If I'm being honest, I don't. This is a hard game for me to pick too, because the Giants did put up 24 points on the 49ers, who have a really good defense. And if they didn't have Christian McCaffrey, I don't know if they would win that game, if I'm being honest. I think he took over that game really hard, but I almost want to take the whoopsie daisy because, like, Jackson Dart is fucking awesome. But I'm going to give credit to the Ben Johnson effect and what they've been doing over there. They're bringing the culture in for this Bears team. Give me the Bears -3.5.
This one's a little bit easier for me because it looked like the Bengals game was a lot. I mean, it was a close game, but it was a historical collapse by the defense in the fourth quarter. They had 20 point, 14, 20-point lead into the game. Everything was good, and they let them back into the game. And the offense, Ben Johnson effects, is what's also saved them a game at the end of the day. They had, and this is what you want to see from Caleb Williams as well. Game on the line, last drive, I think, what was it, like 49 seconds or something like that? Whatever it was.
Yeah, he had 50 seconds and a timeout.
Yep. And you go down and you score and win the game with less than a minute. That is everything you want to see, especially all the doubters, and like, I don't know, Caleb Williams, you look at him, you don't know if he's good or bad. I think he's a good, solid quarterback. And I think the matchup there between coach and quarterback is what's going to run him. Also, you know what's kind of weird about this? Not only did the Lions lose, but the Packers lost. We'll give the Vikings a win, but we still have the Bears ahead of them. But remember a hot take as well about the Bears?
Yeah.
It seems like all of my hot takes are kind of going in the right direction here. It's kind of weird. It's almost like I opened my third eye about this. For my first and only locked in whoopsie daisy of the week, give me the New York Football Giants beating the Bears this week. For my locked in Chicago, by the way. For my one and only official generational run, locked in whoopsie daisy of the week. This would have been my third if you guys let me take it, but I'm taking this as my official one. So
I agree. This is not what I thought you were gonna do either. Yeah. So I do not have to be mad at you anymore.
You thought it was gonna be the Rams, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna take the Niners over the Rams, which, I mean, yeah, but okay, you know what? I almost took it too. I was in my head. I almost took that, dude. Jackson Dart, he's got some swagger to him, and I love it. But I don't know, man. The Ben Johnson effect with the Bears. I don't know.
I always got to hype up, the other team before I take the whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Well then, moving on to what I think might be eyeball avoider of the week. The New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. And the spread is
Not the
5.5.
eyeball avoider.
Because the Saints are just that much worse than the Panthers. The Panthers can put together games, and I mean they did just hang with the Packers, and I mean the fact that they can put together a little bit more of a football game makes me inclined to believe they will win this game. I don't know if it's going to be by a touchdown though. That's my thing, because I mean the Saints are just that bad though. Give me the Panthers spread -5.5.
Yeah, so this game to me doesn't scream eyeball avoider of the week. There's another game in here that is for sure going to be a
I see it too, yeah.
yeah. So the Panthers are going to put up points. It's in Carolina. They play really well at home. I do as well think that the Saints are going to score because they do have the ability to score some points. Divisional game, so it's going to be interesting to see. I actually think this might be a more decent game than you think. But I will have to agree. I think that the Saints' downside to the Panthers' upside is going to that I feel like the gap will be large enough to where the Panthers will cover that spread. So give me the Panthers -5.5.
And,
Shaheed. Just before I say anything, the Saints traded their receiver away too, so that makes it even worse.
Yep. And I'm going to agree with you guys, too. I really like the Panthers. They're looking... I think they're, one, not only the most improved from last year, but two, very highly underestimated this year, too. Their offense is putting up points. Bryce still not really fully trusting in him, but he's playing decently enough to get points on the board. Their defense is actually playing great. Their running game is really strong right now.
Rico Dowdle is insane right now.
And they just beat the Packers, which was the number 1 seed in the NFC going into last week. And, it was an ugly game, no scoring game, but that goes to my point that their defense, I think, is underestimated as well. I'm going to take the -5.5. I like how strong they are playing. They're going to be playing for the division. I think they have a shot. I think this could be a playoff team, guys. I really do. And I'm holding on to my division winner here.
I don't know if they're going to be a division winner, but I think they could definitely get a wild card spot. We'll have to see how the Bucks and Panther games go later this year.
Well, then moving on to what I think you guys may have seen as the eyeball avoider of the week then. Possibly then. I didn't have it fully scrolled down when I saw
Definitely
this.
the one.
Yeah, retract my initial statement. The Cleveland Browns playing the New York Jets. I did not see that one when I said that initially. Literally, at the bottom of my screen, it said Saints Panthers, and then I just scrolled and went, oh. The spread is at -2.5. Again, the Jets just got rid of all of their defensive players. Picked up a receiver that likes to drop the ball before he crosses the goal line. I think this is the Browns' game to lose, even though the Browns are equally not fantastic. So give me the Browns -2.5.
Yeah, I don't know. The Jets GM came out and said this isn't like a scrape down or a rebuild. So like he's trying to make it seem like trading away these players doesn't affect their current team. But there's like absolutely no way, right? That you trade
This is
away
a
your
scrape
defensive...
down, and this is 100%.
Yeah, I mean, you got rid of your best corner
You
and
just
one of your
traded for
best
6
tackles.
first-rounders. Like this is a rebuild.
It's crazy that they would come out and say that. But this Browns team is fucking horrible. Like, I mean, I guess I'll just go with what Vegas has the Browns at -2.5. I'll take them at -2.5. I don't even know who to pick. I don't even I don't even want to watch this game. I don't even want this on my TV.
Yeah, I'm at work during this game.
Like I don't even want to look at that.
Yeah, I was gonna say if eyeball avoider of the week was any eyeball avoider, this is literally the definition. If you open the book to the page, this is what you would see on it. This shouldn't even be a football game. This should be literally flexed to Nickelodeon, because this is this is absolute cartoon a joke. Like biggest eyeball avoider you could see. Shouldn't even be a football game. I'm gonna take the Browns -2.5 as well. Throw in Shador, make it exciting or something. Give it something to talk about. Just throw in Shador for the game. But
yeah, I agree.
I think the Browns win as well. This is definitely a rebuild for the Jets. I honestly really like the move by them. I really do. And the question is, and the biggest one for them in this offseason is going to be, do you stick with the head coach? They got rid of the GM, right? No. That
Jets?
was
No, that was the Dolphins.
Yeah, that was the Dolphins, right?
Yeah.
I think that's their biggest question going in is what do you do with that staff, the office? But I really like the move. I like the rebuild. Browns -2.5 for this game. Eyeball avoider. You can watch us on Cartoon Network. Go next.
Well, then going to Houston, Texas, as they face off against that Jacksonville Jaguar team that you're talking about. My DraftKings just closed. I apologize. Hold on one moment. Technical difficulties. The spread is -1.5. Man, is that so it's practically a pick 'em again. But Justin, what do you? I play this game every single week. What do you always say about Mr. Trevor Lawrence?
Well, hey, if Trevor Lawrence is on the field, that means any team is in the game at any point in the game.
Absolutely, and because of that aspect, I think that's going to benefit them. They're gonna walk into Houston and take that game, and give me the Jags money line.
Yeah, the Texans barely lost. That was a defensive battle against the Broncos and the Texans. Both teams were just getting barely able to do anything. This Jaguars team, as of recent, just hasn't, to me, shown. They beat the Raiders 30-29. Congratulations. We were talking about the Raiders as being one of the worst bottom 5 teams in the league. You barely scrape by a win against them. They're so I don't know how much I can trust them. Texans coming in at 3-5. Defense is incredible. Lowest scoring defense, or lowest allowed points in the league. Give me the Texans -1.5. I'll take it.
You know what, Chris?
Yep.
I'm going to completely agree with you. Here's the thing. I think the Texans have been going in an upward trend, getting in better and better every week. The Jaguars have been going in a downwards trend, at least when it comes to the eye test, of at least looking worse or kind of just staying stagnant of where they are. They're not getting really any better. Yeah, they score a lot of points, which was good. I like to see a 30-point drop by the offense. But, this defense is absolutely fantastic by the Texans. They had a chance to win against the Broncos, who only have 2 losses on the season. They're a phenomenal team. I think they're going in the right direction. They may have to walk back. I guess it was more of a hot take about the Colts not being as great as they are. I said the Jags would win the division instead. I mean, I might have to flip that. It might be too far gone for the Texans to now at this point, but I think they're going to have a win here, divisional game, and continue their upward trend to at least making it interesting, a push, maybe a wild card spot at the end. Last couple weeks, you need a win to get in or something. That's the way I see it going. But I like the way that the team's going and their defense is playing great. So give me a -1.5.
Oh yeah.
Well, then moving on to the team that Justin will play just played their Super Bowl, the Arizona Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks. -6.5 for Seattle. And I think Arizona is going to continue on with the momentum for a little bit against the Cowboys there. I mean, they announced Brissett as the starter still. I thought he played pretty good. I think they're going to end up covering the spread against Seattle. That they're going to get that +6.5, move on to have a little bit of a flow going and continue with it.
Yeah. So, let me tell you why you're wrong. Yeah, I'm just kidding. This could be a very close game. I've said it multiple times on the podcast that the Cardinals just do not go down easy.
And you would
They
know
are
that if you listen to us every 8 a.m. if the
in
Fasce guessing.
yeah, every single week they are always in every single game that they play. I don't see it happening this week. I think Sir Samuel is on an absolute tear, and Jackson Smith in Jigba is in the running for Offensive Player of the Year right now. That defense is good. That Seattle defense is good, and this is in Seattle, so it's going to be loud. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a division game environment. I don't know if Jacoby Brissett, who is the starter, by the way, if you didn't know, Jacoby Brissett is now the starter for I think the rest of the season. He might be. I was 4 to 6 weeks possibly for Kyler Murray at that point, depending on the season's going. I don't even know if you bring him back. So 4 to 6 weeks for Kyler Murray potentially with his injury. And Jacoby looked good against the Cowboys, but we've been saying it every week. And I'm sorry, Justin, and we'll say it again. The Cowboys defense has just been absolutely abysmal.
You don't have to say sorry. I mean, it's true. Like, there's nothing behind it. Like, whoever plays against that team drops 40 points.
Yeah. They only scored 27, which is what scares me.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so give me the Seahawks -6.5. I think they just continue their tear going into this game.
Yeah, I'm just going to go out and say it, guys. The Seahawks are a Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
They are Super Bowl contenders. They're the real deal. Quarterback play is phenomenal. I'm going to go ahead and say the Vikings lost one on that one. I think he was probably the reason why they had such a great year last year. Great quarterback play.
21 to 24, 330 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And that is an incredible
And this isn't
game.
the only week where we've seen him play great.
Nope.
JSN popping off, like you said. Leading receiver in the league. Defense is great. Running game. The whole package here. This is a Super Bowl team. And it's going to be tough to bring them down. And I see them winning by -6.5 as well. Touchdown. The Cardinals are going to have kind of a surprise when their offense suddenly doesn't work when you're not playing the worst defense in the league with Jacoby Brissett. And they're going to win. I think that's an easy pick for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then moving on to the Detroit Lions. And Commanders fans. Can anyone name anyone on the Commanders team that isn't currently hurt?
Pretty much everyone.
Yep.
That whole team is hurting right now.
That's what I thought. If anyone listening right now didn't happen to see, I think Chris put this in our group chat that Jaden Daniels can now scratch his armpit with his arm extended straight out in front of him.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, if you didn't know it, arms aren't supposed to make a 90-degree angle in that direction. I mean, with Mr. Sophomore slump out, would I have more faith in the Commanders? If the rest of the team wasn't currently needing to be wrapped in bubble wrap, yes, I would have more faith. But because they're pulling people out of the stands to play for them this week, give me the Detroit Lions -9.5.
Yeah, I mean, they're having, like, open tryouts. Like, anybody can just walk off the street. Like that's just how bad it is. And I feel for Washington because last year was a great year for them, and I had some hopes for them coming into this year that they'd be
Yeah.
able to do something like that again to keep the momentum going for that team. I do like Jaden Daniels a lot. I think last year was awesome what he did as a rookie. So I think he has a great future. Sucks his injury sucks, gruesome injury. Wish him a speedy recovery. Um, but yeah, this Washington team just got deflated so horribly. They got Marcus Mariota right as their backup.
Yep.
Yes.
But I know Terry McLaurin is in, and I know that Debo Samuel is in. Technically, they're still banged up, but they are in. But I just don't know if it's going to be enough. I think in the Lions, they're coming off a loss, and they're going to want to have a bounce back win. And I think that this Washington team might be just what they need to bounce back. Do they win by 10 points? Yeah, they win by 10 points. Give me the Lions -9.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Just simply enough. Lions are pretty much gonna walk on this team. Here's another cool little boop 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 boop. The Lions have won 11 games in a row after a loss, which is the longest active streak currently in the NFL. So I'm going to take them pretty confidently, -9.5, and you can't count it as a sophomore slump. I'm sorry, Nick. The dude played 2 weeks this year. Like, you can't be injured the whole year and count as that. You got to see him play. It's just unfortunate overall. And yeah, I agree, Chris. Like, I was high hopes, high expectations after NFC Championship last year, and they got the injury bug. It's just what happens in football. But yeah, for this game, line's -9.5.
Well then, moving on to the LA Rams playing the San Francisco 49ers. The spread is at -3.5 for the Rams. I know Justin's already writing down that Chris T is taking that Rams -3.5.
Sure.
This is the game we thought he was having for his locked-in whoopsie days. And you know what? I'm gonna have to completely agree with that thought. I think Christian McCaffrey is gonna have another phenomenal game, receiving game that is, because he's like number 7 in the league for receiving yards this year. I think they're gonna punch the Rams in the mouth, give them a little bit of a shock factor. One of the few Rams losses of the year. And they're gonna win this outright. Give me the 49ers. Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, see, you can't shock what was already shocked. So they already beat us once, buddy. So I mean, they can't shock us by beating us twice. Like that's, you know what I mean?
Exactly, they can.
It's not a shock if they win this football game. We're all tied in the division. Like this is probably the toughest division in football. And the Rams looked great last week, obviously, against a shitty team. So our 2 losses come from, I mean, you could say the same thing about our team that you'd have the Colts, Justin. Our 2 losses come from playoff teams. So are we the Colts of the NFC? Just beating up on cupcake teams?
Well, I mean, you did beat the Colts, which are a playoff team. And you beat the Ravens, which arguably can still be a playoff team.
Yeah, but we beat them on their low, right?
You beat the Jags. You actually smoked the Jags.
Yeah, on their week of the low, right?
I mean, they're still a winning team.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
you lost to the Eagles on a blocked field goal.
We lost to the Eagles on a blocked field goal. We lost to the 49ers on a 4th and 1 that we ran the football into 17 guys on the defensive line. I don't know why we had that play call, but terrible play call. So, can we win this football game? Absolutely, we can. We have the potential to do it. I just don't know if we will. I'm taking them, obviously. -3.5, We already have it written down. It's been secured already before we even got it started the podcast.
Yep.
But I just don't have a lot of faith right now, and I know I say that every week. You know, when we're in these games and in these matchups, that I'm a very realist, and or maybe it's a little too negative on my team, if I'm being honest. But this is one of those games. The 49ers just have our number, man. They have in the McVay era, the 49ers have just whomped us until it counted in the NFC Championship game when we beat them and went to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. But in the regular season, they absolutely womp on us. So they're probably going to win the football game. Brock Purdy should be back this week.
He's back.
So maybe that plays in our favor. Maybe Brock Purdy doesn't have a great game on his first game back. But everybody else there is healthy, right? They've got their receivers back. I think they just don't have Brandon Ayuk right now. But I think everybody else is back.
Their defense is the main story.
Yeah, their defense is the main story, but we'll see. Yeah, Rams -3.5, but I don't expect us to actually win this game.
Well, it kind of got spoiled because you guys thought this was going to be my locked-in whoopsie daisy of the week. But I think the Rams hold true this week. I think they're going to beat the 49ers, buddy.
Well, thank you, buddy.
I believe they will. They're going to figure it out. They're going to get together. They're going to split the division. And they're going to keep in contention with the number one. Man, that's going to be, see the next Seahawks-Rams game is going to be
Dude, yeah. We play them twice, by the way, still.
Yeah, that's going to be the one to watch. But, yeah, I think they hold it together for this game. And I'm going to take the Rams -3.5.
Ready.
Wow.
My team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, on Sunday night, playing the Los Angeles Chargers in Los Angeles, with the spread being -3. And man, what is up with my team? What team is going to come out and play this week? Is it going to be a team where all components, offense, defense, we're playing? Is it going to be Aaron Rodgers asleep at the wheel and on ayahuasca? Is it going to be our defense is going to just bend over and pull their pants down for the Chargers offense? What's going to happen? This is my team. I've grown up watching them, and I have no idea what will possibly happen with that team. Except for the fact our pass rush finally got home. Our defense now has confidence. The best lineman for the Chargers is now out. And that's fantastic news for Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Give me the Steelers, whoopsie daisy. We're going to get home to Herbert. He's going to be scared behind his line and gonna let's see. We had 5 sacks against Daniel Jones? Six sacks? I think we do it back-to-back weeks. Force a couple more turnovers. Our defense is going to win us this football game.
Okay. Yeah, so you're taking
The whoopsie daisy.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, this one, God, the Chargers being -3 when they just lost their best they just lost their best left tackle again. And we saw what it looked like when they didn't have their left tackle before, so and the Steelers team, their defensive line was cooking this last week. If they can do that again, then they're going to win that football game. The Chargers defense hasn't looked fantastic. It's that offense that's been doing really well. Yeah, you know what? Give me the whoopsie daisy as well. I think the Steelers are going to win this game.
ladies and gentlemen, I think for the first time, actually, I can't take the whoopsie daisy because I already locked in mine. So give me the Chargers -3 for this game. I think they come out. Their offense is going to be fantastic. The Steelers had a great game against the Colts. Maybe they dove in. Maybe they had their Super Bowl last week. But I really like this Chargers team. I think they're back, guys. I think the offense is looking like what they did week 1. They had a great game, and I think they're going to continue that. They're going to put up a lot of points against the Steelers defense, and they're going to win by at least a field goal. Give me the Chargers -3.
Heard it here
You're
first.
so lucky that the Cowboys aren't playing this week. Well then, on to Monday night. Honestly, this could also very well be game of the week to end off the week. The Philadelphia Eagles at the Green Bay Packers. Man, there's a couple good games this week.
That's what I was saying. This is going to be a good week.
Kind of excited about it.
We have some great matchups.
But man, Packers falling to the Panthers, what a bad look. It doesn't matter though, because the Eagles are just going to run the tush push 19 times down the field and win the football game because of that. So give me the Eagles money line.
Again, this is going to be a decent game. The Packers come on off a big loss, right? Losing to the Panthers, that's a big loss for them. Everybody expected the Packers to win that game for the most part, or at least not put up as little points as they did. That offense has looked really good up to this point, so seeing them get stumped like that by that Panthers defense was kind of crazy to see. The Eagles are flying right now. They are on an incredible upswing.
Fly.
Yep, fly Eagles fly, man.
I hate that.
They're on an incredible upswing. So this and cold weather games do not affect the Eagles. We all know this. They play in the snow too. So the cold weather is not going to be a factor for this team. Give me the Eagles +2.5, or give me the Eagles to win it, rather. Sorry. Yeah, give me the Eagles to win it.
Eagles money again, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to completely disagree for the both of you. We're going to Lambeau Packers after an embarrassing loss. They're not going to let that happen again. Give me this offense. Jordan Love picking up Green Bay. By the way, he turned 27. Did you know that Brett Favre and the quarterback, I forget who was before that,
Bart Starr, Brett
yes,
Favre, Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. They were all 27 when they won their first Super Bowl with the Packers, and guess what? Here we are. Is it going to happen? Am I projecting that? No, I still have the Rams as my pick, as I did before the season even started, because I'm always right and I'm never wrong. I've never been wrong in my whole entire life, which is why the Packers are going to win this game. Give me a -2.5 at Lambeau. Easy money. Eagles are going down.
Yeah.
Although it has no impact on like even if they lose on my division, I'd hope man, after we beat the Cardinals and the Packers lose this week, man, we're only a game back. We still gotta play. We have a real shot at the division, even the playoff. But now it's just over and the trades are meaningless. You know what? I honestly think, because the trades made no sense to the Cowboys, that Jerry just did it just to be talked about. Everyone's gonna talk about Parson. Look what we got. We got Quinn. Blah, blah. It's really not gonna matter. Unfortunate, but Packers -2.5.
Well then, that concludes the pick'ems of the week. And then moving on to everybody's favorite game.
It's time for It's Okay. It's Not Okay.
Is it okay or not okay for teams to refuse to trade players who requested the trades and are unhappy in the current organization? And I'm going to go to Mr. Chris T first.
Yeah, I mean, so here's my take on it. Sucks to suck. It's a business, right? You signed a contract. Yeah, so your request is denied. Sorry. You signed a contract with us. You're going to fulfill your contract, and that's that. That's all I have to say.
So would you say it's okay for them to wait? What was the it's okay? It's not okay for them to
Yeah,
keep them,
it
or
is
for them
okay
to...
for teams to refuse. It is okay for teams to refuse if someone wants to be traded. It's okay. Yeah, it's a business at the end of the day.
Well, this is going to put me in a really tough spot because I would somewhat kind of agree. Yeah, it is a business. Like, you have no choice in it. You request the trade, but it also has a lot to do. What I was saying about the Jets earlier is your willingness to want to play. If you're like, say, an AJ Brown, where you're openly frustrated and not wanting to play for the current organization, almost like if you were working for your current job and you wanted to leave, you're just going to leave.
Yeah, but you can't do that in the NFL. It's not how that works.
It's not how that works, but mentally, you're going to leave when it comes to the NFL. Same thing with, if you have your 2 weeks in, do you think you're going to work as hard when you're on your 2 week notice than when you're not? No, you're not going to give a crap. And I think that has a lot to do with like the trade requests and stuff too. Jacoby Myers, for example, he put in he didn't want to be there, and I think the business knows, which is why they ended up ultimately did trading him. It's the like the heart on the field factor. Like, you don't want to be there anymore, and you're not going to play like you want to be there anymore. So I think for the business as well, you got to factor that in. And yeah, that too, it's a good point. I think if you're going to say what I think you're going to say, it goes into you have to perform on the field to want to get the next contract.
Yeah, I was. Myles Garrett. Look at Myles Garrett, for instance.
Yeah, true. You still have to, like, perform as a player. Yeah, and plus you have like a bunch of incentives and stuff. Maybe that could be a thing too. Like, hey, you make the playoffs, you get extra. Well, that's not going to happen on this team. Why don't you put me on a team that will? A lot of these competitors too want to win.
They do. But when you sign that, to me it's like you want to win, but you are setting yourself up to make so much money and taking away from being able to add players that you can win with, right? And this is like a Myles Garrett, for instance. I don't think his contract necessarily negates all the negativity of the Browns that is happening, right? It's not necessarily his contract that the reasons why they suck, that he is getting paid a lot of money. But you have to factor that kind of stuff in. Like, we paid you all this money to be here. We suck, but it's almost kind of your fault. You can't just take the money and then want to leave.
Yeah, it's almost like Patrick Mahomes. He could easily be the highest paid quarterback in the league, but he doesn't because he wants to
look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady for all those years took so much less money than he was worth. And look at what happened. They won.
A lot.
They won a lot.
They won.
So that's kind of how I'm viewing it. Obviously this could go either way with this potential, this topic, but that's just how I view it.
I do think it is okay. In the aspect of maybe the player doesn't know what the plans of the team are. My example for that is Jonathan Taylor. He wanted out of Indianapolis so badly. And now look at it. He's in the hunt for the MVP race. He's having probably one of the greatest seasons ever. They're in talks of Super Bowl contenders this year. So I think it is okay in the aspect of the business side of things. The team is going to do what they need to for them to try to win.
I think that's a good point too, because I think a lot of those trade things boil down to frustration as well. Maybe like the Micah Parsons contract disagreements. You're trying to reach a deal, get me out of here, kind of a negotiation tactic to make it go quicker. So that could play in a lot of factor to it too. But yeah, either way, you heard both sides of it. Is it okay or not okay? Trade request, do you keep them? Do you let them go? Let us know what you think. If you're still listening to this point, write down in the comment section. And as always, every single Thursday, calendar Thursday. The word spelled out Thursday, Thursday. Any way, any language, any possible way you can look at it, every Thursday at 8 a.m. on the Fastcast Eastern Time. We're going to be here every week. Well, you guys, we'll see you next time. And by the way, any closing remarks from the cast here, go Cowboys.
Yeah. You know what? This week, you're still going to lose on a bye.
I am sad now. All right, see you next Thursday, 8 a.m.
Be safe around trains. A message from Metro.